So Fortnite has had many different melee items over the years, and in this video I want to rank them from worst to best, from the infinity blade to the lightsaber. So without further delay, let's get into it. In last place is the Chains of Hades from chapter 5 season 2. This melee item really wasn't that good at all, as it had no mobility options unlike the other melee items on this list. It also didn't have that much damage to warrant taking up an inventory slot. The only real use for this was pulling your friends and trolling them. But if the only good thing about an item is that you can troll people, it's not that good. In 18th place is the Howler Claws from chapter 4. Now we're not going to talk about how this item was only in the game for 3 days, and we're going to talk about how bad these items were. Starting off, they didn't do that much damage to take up a slot, and it was pretty slow. The only somewhat good thing about this was the Howler scent, and it could mark people around you, but that's about it. In 17th place is the Sideways Sight from chapter 2 season 8. This item was pretty weak and slow, but the high jump thing you could do with it was pretty good, and the running slash could work sometimes, but all around it wasn't that good. Now we're getting into the decently good items, starting with the Shuri Claws from chapter 5 season 4. This item was pretty good for mobility, as it gave you a pretty good speed boost, especially when it was fully charged, but the melee aspect wasn't really that good. In 15th place is the She-Hulk Fist from chapter 2 season 4. These fists were extremely strong, doing 45 damage a hit and a 110 for the final attack. So they were the strongest melee item on this list, and you could also leap with it, decently good for mobility, and you could smash into the ground for pretty good damage. In 14th place is the Kingsman Umbrella from chapter 2 season 2. This item is just a far worse version of the lightsaber, as it gave no mobility besides the glide you could do with it in midair, but the lightsaber completely negates fall damage, so that's useless. But you could charge with it for a strong attack, but that's about all it has going for it. In 13th place are the Wolverine Claws from chapter 2 season 4. These claws were pretty good for mobility with decently strong hits and a very fast swing. It also gave a speed boost, so it was good for making you go faster. It could also do a useful dash in midair, so all around is a pretty good item. In 12th place is the Grapple Blade from chapter 5 season 1. This item was very good for mobility in chapter 5, and it was pretty good for damage as well, but it was just a far worse version of the ODM gear. In 11th place is the most recent melee item, and that's the Scorpion Combat Kit from chapter 6 season 2. This item was pretty good for damage, and it did a crazy combo attack, and the pull for it was pretty good for starting the combo. But the only place this item fails at is mobility, because it took all the mobility from the Sub-Zero one and put it into damage. Cracking into the top 10 is the Sub-Zero Combat Kit, and this is basically just the upgraded version of the Scorpion Combat Kit, as it has mobility for this one, and it still does great damage. In 9th place is the Chainsaw from chapter 5 season 4. This thing did great damage and swung very fast. The mobility of sliding on the ground was also great, and it lasted for a good while. In 8th place is the Kneecapper from chapter 6 season 2. This item was great for damage, and a secondary attack to send your enemies flying was great, and it gave you time to heal or run away. It also gave you a speed boost, and it took away all fall damage if you ran and jumped with it. In 7th place is the Typhoon Blade from chapter 6 season 1. This item was insane. The damage in it was incredible. It had to be in your inventory in every single game. It was also great for mobility, as it gave you a speed boost and a dash after you jumped. The second slash was also good and powerful, and I'm pretty sure it could kill people by fall damage with it. In 6th place, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mythic. So Leonardo's katanas, Mikey's nunchucks, Raphael's sais, and lastly Donatello's staff. These were pretty good for damage and good for mobility, as it gave you dashes and charged up pretty fast. Cracking into the top 5 is the Kinetic Blade from chapter 4 season 2. This weapon was a must for your inventory whenever it wasn't around. It was great for everything, from combat with the 2 slices that it did, and the dash was great for mobility as well. In 4th place, the Shockwave Hammer from chapter 4. This mobility item was great for damage and rotation, and it had the added effect to send your enemy flying whenever you hit them. So you could either heal or run away during that time, so it was great and had a lot of options for you. In 3rd place is the Nitro Fist. These were good for mobility and damage, and had so many people mad about them in chapter 5, so they had to make the top 3. In 2nd place is the Lightsaber, and I'm including all of them in one spot, and they're just an amazing melee item all around with great damage and mobility. with the speed boost and the double jump. You can also block with it, which is nice, and all the different force powers were pretty good, and the best one was force throw, where you could just throw things at them and decimate your enemies. In first place is the ODM gear from chapter 4. These mixed the mobility of the Spider-Man mythic with the strength of a melee item to create this absolute masterpiece. It was amazing in chapter 4. And in number 0 is the Infinity Blade, because I messed up something with the ranking, but this item was just phenomenal. It had great damage and mobility, and it gave you a ton of extra shield and gave you shield over time. And if you need proof it's the best melee item, look at that one tournament that happened when it was out in the game. It was a massacre. Obviously the best melee item ever. And that's the end of my melee item ranking. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to get me to 6,000 subs by the time GTA 6 comes out. And make sure to comment what you would change about the ranking. And if you really enjoyed the video, you can cash at me, but that's not enough out of me. Goodbye.